Are muted.
الحمد لله الحمد لله الذي ما لا تراه العيون ولا تخالطه الظنون ولا يصفه الواصفون ولا تغيره الحوادث ولا يخشى الدوائر يعلم مثاقيل الجبال ومكائل البحار وعدد قطر الأمطار وعدد ورق الأشجار وعدد ما أظلم عليه الليل وما أشرق عليه النهار ولا تواري منه سماء سماء ولا أرض أرضا الحلال ما أحللت والحرام ما حرمت والدين ما شرعت والأمر ما قضيت والخلق خلقك والعبد عبدك وأنت الله الرؤوف الرحيم. صلى الله تعالى على حبيبه ونبيه صلى الله عليه وسلم. أما بعد، فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في كتابه المجيد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم: إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم. وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: عجبا لأمر المؤمن إن أمره كله له خير وليس ذلك لأحد إلا للمؤمن إن أصابته سراء شكر فكان خيرا له وإن أصابته ضراء صبر فكان خيرا له، أو كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Hope everyone is doing well. Inshallah, we'll start shortly. Just waiting for a few more brothers to join, inshallah. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To those who have just joined, inshallah we will start shortly. Bismillah. We'll start now. Okay, so my dear respected brothers and sisters, I know yesterday I had said we will start from Surah Hud and finish Surah Yusuf. But looking at the circumstance, looking at everything, so we have, subhanAllah, roughly about 15 days left. We're finishing around the 28th, so roughly around that much time. And we have around 18 ajza, 18 juz are still left, right? So now we have to move really, really fast and move forward with everything, because we have to cover up at least 2-3 juz a day, right? Within obviously the same time limit, roughly an hour and 15 minutes or an hour and 30 minutes. Wa alaikum salam to those who have just joined. So the stories of the prophets that have been mentioned in Surah Hud, for example, the likes of Nuh alayhi salam, his story, and other prophets. This we will cover. These stories will come again. Obviously, now Surah Hud mentions these stories with details, but we will cover the story of Nuh alayhi salam. It has more details. The story has been mentioned with more details in Surah Hud as opposed to Surah Nuh itself. So when we get to Surah Nuh, inshallah, that is when we will discuss this in full details. Right now, we won't do this. We will just proceed forward. Okay, so we will move on with Surah Yusuf, because the details of Surah Yusuf, they don't come later on. They don't come again. Surah Qasas, Surah Anbiya, you have the stories of prophets. So Surah Yusuf is one story that, because Surah Yusuf is a long story and it will take some time. So given the time limit, we can't finish both Surah Hud and Surah Yusuf today. So we are just going over Surah Hud and we are on Surah Yusuf. Okay. Inshallah, when the stories come up, the likes of Musa alayhi salam and other stories, we'll discuss them as they come up. But in Surah Hud, just clarifying once again to those who have just joined, we are not delving into Surah Hud today. We will start with Surah Yusuf today, inshallah. So without further ado, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allah Akbar. Now understanding one thing here in ayah number 3. نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, now we will relate to you the best of stories. عليك أحسن القصص بما أوحينا إليك هذا القرآن وإن كنت من قبله لمن الغافلين. And you were unaware of this. Right? So just looking at the background, Yahud had asked Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam certain questions. Right? And understanding that when we ask questions today, right, it is to, now questions that are asked for certain reasons, they hold their purpose, but the biggest reason is for knowledge, right? The biggest reason is for knowledge. So is to gain knowledge, right? Today, for example, you ask someone about directions, right? And then he guides you, he tells you, you need to turn right from here, turn left from there, and so on and so forth, right? This is informative, right? Another question is asked, and we need to abstain from this quality, is when you ask someone a question, it is not to seek some sort of knowledge, it is to demoralize them, and it is to taunt them, it is to make fun of them, right? So it is to show that you are superior. It is to show, yes, ayah number 3. In Surah Yusuf, نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص. It is to show that you're far superior. Okay. So Yahud had asked Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam the same question, and they asked, Ya Rasulullah, O Prophet, tell us something, right? And this is not an informative. It wasn't used for any information, to seek any information. It was rather asked to say that he's not a prophet, or to test him. So they asked, Bani Israel were living in Palestine. They were living in Palestine. So how did Bani Israel, Bani Israel, children of Yaqub alayhi salam, so how did Bani Israel end up in Misr? How did they end up in Egypt? Okay. Now, obviously, given the circumstance, given the magnitude, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this is something he had no access to this knowledge. The only way of getting this knowledge, acquiring this knowledge, was through wahi, right? And this was a test. This is how they wanted to test Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So in response to this, Allahu Akbar, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the entire Surah Yusuf. Entire Surah Yusuf, right? In the story of Yusuf alayhi salam, and how they were living in Palestine, and from Palestine they moved to Misr. And the Quran says, وَإِن كُنْتَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِ لَمِنَ الْغَافِلِينَ. O Prophet of Allah, you had no access to this knowledge. Right? So by you telling these people, this is a clear sign that you are a prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you're a true prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? And Allahu Akbar, the Quran says, نَحْنُ نَقُصُّ عَلَيْكَ أَحْسَنَ الْقَصَصِ. This is the best of stories. And Allahu Akbar, when you this story has so many lessons. Books are written on this. Allahu Akbar. So many lessons. You have the story of Musa alayhi salam. You have stories of other prophets as well. But subhanAllah, it's Allahu. When you really read the story and you delve into it, subhanAllah, you look at the state of you look at the state of Yusuf alayhi salam, and where he was. No one knew him. From the bottom of the well, and now a time comes how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala elevates him, right? And now he's sitting on top of the throne. The same brothers who were once against Yusuf alayhi salam, now they are submitting to Yusuf alayhi salam. They're ready to submit. Now they're saying, you know what, you are our leader. Allahu Akbar. Hope everyone can sit tight. And we'll start with Surah Yusuf. Starting off with, now moving on to now I won't read the full ayah. I will only read the ayahs, the few particles that I need to recite. Okay? So looking at ayah number 4, it's called a Yusuf, and this is where it all starts from, right? Yusuf alayhi salam says, I had a dream of my father. Ya abati, inni ra'aytu ahada ashara kawkaba wash-shams wal-qamar ra'aytuhum li sajidin. So oh my father, I see 11 stars, right? رأيت أحد عشر كوكبا والشمس, the sun, والقمر, and the moon. رأيتهم لي ساجدين, they're prostrating before me. قال يا بني. Now this was the first advice of Yaqub alayhi salam to his son, who excuse me, my throat just really bad today. And this is the first advice for Yaqub alayhi salam to his son. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to those who have just joined. Right? لا تقصص رؤياك على إخوتك. Okay, you have this dream, alhamdulillah, it's nice, it's a good dream, because Yaqub alayhi salam was a prophet, so he understood the meaning of this, right? He says, don't tell this to your brothers. Please do not relate this to your brothers. إِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ لِلْإِنسَانِ عَدُوٌّ مُبِينٌ. Right, subhanAllah. This is understanding. Shaitan, Allahu Akbar, is our big enemy. He is our enemy. Today we have, we make enemies amongst ourselves, right? We have enemies amongst ourselves. You say, I have animosity towards this person. I don't like this person. He's my enemy. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He clarifies everything. He says, your true enemy, right? The one who's always against you, plotting against you. Inna shaytana lil insani aduwwun mubin, a great enemy, right? So aduwwun mubin, a great enemy, not just a regular enemy. He is your biggest enemy. وَكَذَلِكَ يَسْتَبِيكَ رَبُّكَ ويعلمك من تأويل الأحاديث ويتم نعمته عليك وعلى آل يعقوب كما أتمها على أبويك من قبل إبراهيم وإسحاق إن ربك عليم حكيم. Ayah number 6. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَكَذَلِكَ يَجْتَبِيكَ رَبُّكَ. Right? Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to reward you and shower you with His blessings. Right? So يَجْتَبِيكَ رَبُّكَ. What are the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to bless Yusuf alayhi salam with? Okay? What are these blessings? So, Allahu Akbar. The first blessing, starting off with, يَجْتَبِيكَ رَبُّكَ. Okay? That you are chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? Now these are the three glad tidings. Okay? يَجْتَبِيكَ رَبُّكَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen you. Okay? Meaning that His blessings are to be showered upon you. Number 2, وَيُعَلِّمُكَ مِن تَأْوِيلِ الْأَحَادِيثِ. This is the second blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, okay, upon Yusuf alayhi salam, that Yusuf alayhi salam understanding that he will interpret dreams, right? Interpretation of narratives, interpretation of dreams. Okay? This was the second ni'mah. And the third ni'mah was وَيُتِمُّ نِعْمَتَهُ عَلَيْكَ بِالنُّبُوَّةِ. Okay? وَيُتِمُّ نِعْمَتَهُ عَلَيْكَ بِالنُّبُوَّةِ. I'm just reading the tafsir, I'm not reading the Quran Arabic. Okay? وَيُتِمُّ نِعْمَتَهُ عَلَيْكَ بِالنُّبُوَّةِ. That He will complete His blessing. And how does it become complete? That He will make you a prophet. Okay? Understanding Yaqub alayhi salam, he's a prophet. And the way, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allahu Akbar, He says, كَمَا أَتَمَّهَا عَلَىٰ أَبَوَيْكَ مِن قَبْلُ إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَإِسْحَاقَ. Right? Ishaq alayhi salam, the father of Yaqub alayhi salam, and Ibrahim alayhi salam being the father of Ishaq alayhi salam. Right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so number 1, يَجْتَبِيكَ رَبُّكَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen you, He has selected you. وَيُعَلِّمُكَ مِن تَأْوِيلِ الْأَحَادِيثِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is the second blessing. That you will be given this beautiful blessing of interpretation of narratives, of dreams. Okay. Number three, وَيُتِمَّ نِعْمَتُهُ عَلَيْكَ بِالنُّبُوَّةِ, that you will be a prophet. Okay. This is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will complete his blessing. لقد كان في يوسف الله أكبر. Now number seven, لقد كان في يوسف وإخوته آيات للسائلين, those who are seeking answers, those who look for answers. And it's subhanAllah, not only them, for a lot of us, many of us, right? These are signs, and their questions will be answered. Okay, ayat, these are signs. للسائلين, those who are seeking answers, those who are looking for the truth, those who seek the truth, right? Their questions will be answered. Now moving on to Allahu Akbar. Number 8. إذ قالوا ليوسف وأخوه أحب إلى أبينا منا ونحن عصبة إن أبانا لفي ضلال مبين. Okay. This is now now the brothers come in. Right now the brothers come into the picture. So what are the brothers saying right now? Right? They're saying that why does our father love Binyamin and Yusuf alayhi salam more than us? وَنَحْنُ عُصْبَةٌ. Right? Now, see, Yaqub alayhi salam, the love that he had for Yusuf alayhi salam and Binyamin were far greater because Binyamin was young and Yusuf alayhi salam was young as well. They were younger than the other brothers. So Yaqub alayhi salam had more love for them, right? So they're asking, وَنَحْنُ عُصْبَةٌ, how can, for example, you have someone who's able to achieve greater tasks, right? For example, you have someone who's able to achieve a greater task. He's able to do more. He's more capable. Okay, just understanding. He's more capable. On the other hand, you have someone, not saying that Yusuf alayhi salam is incapable of doing things. Just this is their perception. They're saying, we're greater, we're bigger, we're stronger. But why does our father? How come he loves Yusuf alayhi salam? Why does he love Yusuf alayhi salam more than us? وَنَحْنُ عُصْبَةٌ. What is the meaning of usba? Usba means a group of people ranging from 10 to 40. Okay? That's what usba means. وَنَحْنُ عُصْبَةٌ إِنَّ أَبَانَا لَفِي ضَلَالٍ مُبِينٍ. This is something that's wrong. Right? Our father is in. Now see, this is understanding Allahu Akbar. See, those who say that I can just read the Quran and I'll just translate without any guidance, without any guidelines, and I can just open up the Quran and I can just translate. Please don't do that. Right? Inna abana lafi dalalin mubin. Dalal means someone who is completely dal, turned away from the right path. So na'udhu billah, how can one, someone who's translating, he will just say, na'udhu billah, that our father, he is, completely lost, right? Dalal, gumrah, right? This is not how it's used in this context. Okay? Inna abana lafi dalalin mubin. Meaning, one of the meanings of this is that our father is not doing justice here, right? Or our father, he is in this realm of his that he is away from the truth. The truth is hidden from him. That we are stronger, and this is something that he's wrong in. Okay, so meaning he should love us. The bottom line, the gist, the crux of this is that his love for us should be far superior, should be far greater than the love that he has for Yusuf alayhi salam. Okay, the brothers, what were their names? Starting off with Jad, number 1. Number 2, Naphtali. Okay. Number 3, Dan or Din. Number 4, Zabulun. Okay. 4th brother. Number 5, Yesakar or Yesakar. Okay. Moving on, Yehuda or Yehuda with a Zal. Okay. Then you have Shim'un, one of the brothers. Lawi, another brother. Ra'ubin. Okay. Ashir, Binyamin, and you have Yusuf alayhi salam. Okay. The other sibling. So they said, now to focus the attention of our about the poem someone has mentioned. Inshallah, we'll get to that. We're just sticking on with Surah Yusuf, sticking to this first. Allahu Akbar. Okay, yes. So now the brother said, you know what? We need to divert his attention, right? So they're saying there is one way to get rid of everything, right? There is one way. So now they're saying Yusuf alayhi salam is that obstacle. He's that hurdle between our father and us. You remove that obstacle, obviously now Yusuf alayhi salam is no longer in the picture, right? This was their goal, right? They wanted Yusuf alayhi salam out of the picture. It's not like they had any animosity. They just really wanted to kill him or anything like that. The truth, you know what the meaning behind this was, and you know their goal and their objective was that Yusuf alayhi salam, we need to remove him out of the picture, right? Yusuf, and you know we'll find out out of this when we move forward. Yusuf alayhi salam, remove him from the picture. So our father, he looks at us. So our father cares for us. So our father, you know, the love that he has for Yusuf alayhi salam, now he no longer has it for Yusuf alayhi salam because he is not, you know, he is no longer in the picture, and that love Yaqub alayhi salam has for us. So let's remove him. So now, this was the plan that they had come up with. اقتلوا Yusuf. They said, let's kill Yusuf alayhi salam. أو اطرحوه, right? أو اطرحوه أرضا يخلو لكم وجه أبيكم وتكونوا من بعده قوما صالحين. Allahu Akbar. See, yesterday we were talking about procrastinating, right? How we say, you know, we'll do this one last time, and then we'll become pious, or we'll leave it for tomorrow, right? Look at this procrastination, Allahu Akbar, right? So this also shows that their objective wasn't really to kill Yusuf alayhi salam, right? They're just thinking, plotting, uqtulu Yusuf, okay, let's kill Yusuf alayhi salam. See, if their goal was to kill Yusuf alayhi salam, uqtulu Yusuf would have been enough. It would have sufficed, right? That would have been enough. But that wasn't their primary goal, right? Their primary objective was to just get rid of Yusuf alayhi salam, get him out of the picture. That's it. Uqtulu Yusuf aw utrahuhu. Another idea is, you know, just cast him away. You know, throw him away, abandon him, make sure he's away. Wa alaikum assalam to those who have just joined. Okay? أو اطرحوه أرضا يخل لكم وجه أبيكم. So now he's out of the picture, and now Yaqub alayhi salam is able to focus on us, right? وَتَكُونُوا, now listen to this, وَتَكُونُوا مِنْ بَعْدِهِ قَوْمًا صَالِحِينَ. Ayah number 9. Thereafter, see, وَتَكُونُوا مِنْ بَعْدِهِ قَوْمًا صَالِحِينَ. Thereafter, once everything is done, once we commit this deed, this wrongful act, once Yusuf alayhi salam is out of the picture, we will become pious. Become pious, we'll do tawbah, we'll do this, we'll repent, we'll shed some tears, and we'll return, right? We'll be pious, we'll change ourselves, right? But then again, understanding, tomorrow never comes, okay? Everything starts today. قَالَ قَائِلٌ مِّنْهُمْ. Amongst the brothers, someone said, one of them said, who said this? You know, it comes into Tafseer that it was Yehud. Yehuda or Yehuda, okay? So he had more affection towards Yusuf alayhi salam, as opposed to the other brothers. Okay? قَالَ قَائِلٌ مِّنْهُمْ لَا تَقْتُلُوا يُوسُف. So he said, you know what? If you want to get rid of Yusuf alayhi salam, if you want to get rid of Yusuf, you know, don't kill him, right? وَأَلْقَوْهُ فِي غَيَابَةِ الْجُبِّ يَلْتَقِطْهُ بَعْضُ السَّيَّارَةِ إِن كُنْتُمْ فَاعِلِينَ. See, in kuntum fa'ilin, understanding that Yehuda, this is something this was not his opinion as well, right? Rather, his opinion was overtaken and overpowered by the opinion of their other brothers, right? He's saying, you know what, don't kill him. Firstly, don't kill Yusuf. Okay, he's our brother. Have sympathy. Have, you know, care for him, right? And if you really want to do this, in kuntum fa'ilin, if you really want to do this, ألقوه في غيابة الجب يلتقطه بعض السيارة. Don't kill him. Another plan is that you just throw him into the well. Throw him into the well. A caravan will pass by. They'll look inside and they'll take him. Okay. Now moving forward, Allahu Akbar. قالوا يا أبانا ما لك لا تأمنا على يوسف وإنا له لناصحون. Emphasis. Now they're just trying. Their heart is pushing, right? وَإِنَّا لَهُ لَنَاصِحُونَ. Right? Ta'kid. Then the brothers say, you know, our father, why is it that you don't trust us with Yusuf? Why is it that you don't trust us with Yusuf? Send Yusuf with us. أَرْسِلْهُ مَعَنَا غَدًا يَرْتَعْ وَيَلْعَبْ وَإِنَّا لَهُ لَحَافِظُونَ. We will compete. يَرْتَعْ وَيَلْعَبْ, you know, compete in foot race. We'll race together. We'll have fun together. وَيَلْعَبْ. وَإِنَّا لَهُ لَحَافِظُونَ, and don't you worry, we will protect Yusuf. We will take care of him. قال إني ليحزنني أن تذهبوا به وأخاف أن يأكله الذئب وأنتم عنه غافلون. No, there are wolves out. I'm afraid, see then again, to those who have just joined, I'm not doing word for word translation, okay? I'm just elaborating. In other words, I don't really trust you. You can't really be trusted. Why? Because you might busy yourselves in other activities. You might busy your other activities. Yusuf is small, he's a small boy. A wolf might come and he might just take him away whilst you are busy in your own matter, right? And you'll be unaware of this. So then the brother says, قالوا لئن أكله الذئب ونحن عصبة إنا إذا لخاسرون فلما ذهبوا به وأجمعوا أن يجعلوه في غيابة الجب وأوحينا إليه لتنبئنهم بأمرهم هذا وهم لا يشعرون. Okay, now use Allah Akbar. Yaqub alayhi salam, he's aware of this. He's aware of what's happening. This is the plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? He knows what is happening, what is going to happen. Okay? Second. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is well aware. Okay? Now what happens is, as you know, what they wanted to do, they take Yusuf alayhi salam, right? And then we'll get to the story after now after some time, what they did to Yusuf alayhi salam. Now they come back to what's it called? Yaqub alayhi salam. Okay, the brothers. وَجَاءُوا أَبَاهُمْ عِشَاءً يَبْكُونَ. Now they come back to Yaqub alayhi salam. They start crying. قالوا يا أبانا إنا ذهبنا نستبق وتركنا يوسف عند متاعنا فأكله الذئب. Oh, our father, we were racing, we were busy, we were doing our thing. وتركنا يوسف عند متاعنا. Yusuf is little. We left Yusuf alayhi salam by our belongings. فأكله الذئب. A wolf came and a wolf devoured Yusuf alayhi salam. وما أنت بمؤمن لنا ولو كنا صادقين. And if we were to tell the truth, and if we are telling the truth, oh our Father, you won't really believe us, right? You know, this is subhanallah. This is one of the tactics, right, that we use today, right? If you're really, subhanallah, this is truly, Rasulullah Hey, Assalamu alaikum. I know we're going through some difficulty. Well, are you able to hear me now? Okay, now, Allahu Akbar, are you able to hear me? I just want to know if brothers can hear me. Now, everything is fine. The signals are fine. The audio is on. Okay, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar. So sorry, I don't know why this keeps happening. Allahu Akbar. Okay, now, if some of you can tell me where we left off. So, because now I was talking, I just looked at the chat. Now I understood that the voice wasn't going through. So, if someone can just tell me where we were, so inshallah I can start from there. Inshallah, if someone can quickly tell me. I believe there's a lag in the voice or something. Okay, no worries. We will start from. Yeah, I'll start from this. Okay. Yes, a wolf. Yes, okay, Jazakallahu khairan. Okay, so you guys didn't miss too much, right? A wolf has devoured Yusuf, our father. قال, now understanding Yaqub alayhi salam, he's a prophet. قال بل سولت لكم أنفسكم أمرا فصبر جميل والله المستعان على ما تصفون. Right? And بل سولت لكم أنفسكم أمرا. This, I just want to, this is a little off topic. I just want to talk about this, right? بل سولت لكم أنفسكم أمرا فصبر جميل. Today how, let's say your parents tell you, they advise you, or your teachers advise you to do something, and in response you say, or they ask you, why did you do this, and you just say, oh, because I just felt like doing it, or I just wanted to do this. This is something that we need to, Allahu Akbar, we need to cancel this. We need to remove this bad habit. We need to completely, decimate this, eradicate this, take it out of our hearts, take it out of our soul. This habit of saying that, I just felt like doing it. I just felt like doing it, right? When a person commits a sin, then he says, I just felt like doing it. This is the same thing. This is the same response of who? Samiri, right? Musa alayhi salam, he asked Samiri, what made you do this? You know what his response was? كذلك سولت لي نفسي. كذلك سولت لي نفسي. I only did this. I told everyone to worship the calf because سولت لي نفسي. I just felt like doing it. There's no really motive, and there's no objective. There's no drive behind it. But I just did it. I just felt like doing it, right? So that's how I just um, thought of سولت again, because Yaqub alayhi salam says قال بل سولت لكم أنفسكم أمرا. No, this is something that you just wanted to do, right? This is something this is pre-planned, right? So Yaqub alayhi salam already knows because he's a prophet, right? والله المستعان وعلى ما تصفون. Now moving forward, وجاءت سيارة فأرسلوا واردهم فأدلى دلوى قال يا بشرى هذا غلام. Now understanding Yusuf alayhi salam, Allahu Akbar. This is the beauty of Yusuf alayhi salam, right? Given 1/3, just imagine, Allahu Akbar. Just imagine this this is something we can't really comprehend. Just try to think of this, right? You go to any place on earth, right? You look at natural beauty, right? You go to Banff, Jasper, or any other place, right? The creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? Not just man-made things, not just any structure, right? You look at them and you're just completely shocked. You're in a state of shock, in a state of awe. So beautiful. You can't take your eyes off. You can't hold your breath. You can't breathe. It's hard for you to breathe now because it's so beautiful, right? So just imagine, Allahu Akbar, 1/3 of the beauty of this world was given to Yusuf alayhi salam. SubhanAllah. So وَجَاءَتْ سَيَّارَةٌ. Now a caravan comes, right? This is now, everything is going how the brothers planned, right? They said, throw Yusuf alayhi salam into the well. People would walk by, they will spot Yusuf alayhi salam, he'll be spotted, they'll see him, and they'll take him out, and they'll take him with him, right? وَجَاءَتْ سَيَّارَةٌ فَأَرْسَلُوا وَارِدَهُمْ فَأَدْلَى دَلْوًا. This person, who has his bucket, he lowers the bucket inside, right? قال يا بشرى هذا غلام. He looks inside. Now he finds that the bucket is heavy, right? Yusuf alayhi salam, what Yusuf alayhi salam does, he's a little boy, so he jumps inside the bucket, right? Yusuf alayhi salam jumps inside the bucket. Now Yusuf alayhi salam is inside the bucket. So now the person is pulling the bucket out. Says, why is it heavy? Why is it heavy? When he pulls it out, he says, Ya Bushra hadha ghulam. He is shocked, in either, in two ways. A, because of the beauty of Yusuf alayhi salam, because he's so beautiful. Allahu Akbar. And number two, someone is shocked and astonished that how did you survive? Like, how did you end up here? Right? You don't really expect that, just happened out of the blue. So now this is what happened. وَشَرَوْهُ بِثَمَنٍ بَخْسٍ دَرَاهِمَ مَعْدُودَةٍ وَكَانُوا فِيهِ مِنَ الزَّاهِدِينَ. There was one brother, Yehuda. Okay, like I said before, Yehuda would come to Yusuf alayhi salam and he would give him some food. Obviously, because understanding this is the same brother who said, "In kuntum fa'ilin," if you really want to do this, first, don't kill Yusuf alayhi salam. But if you really want to do this and you are pukhta on this, you are adamant, then what? Throw him into the well. Right. So Yehuda had this compassion. He had this, he felt, he had this affection for Yusuf alayhi salam. So Yehuda would come and give some food to Yusuf alayhi salam. Now this one day, what happened was that he comes and Yusuf alayhi salam is nowhere to be seen. And then he finds that caravan, that Yusuf alayhi salam is with that caravan. So now the brothers, they go to that same caravan. وَشَرَوْهُ بِثَمَنٍ بَخْسٍ دَرَاهِمَ مَعْدُودَةٍ. They tell him that, you know what, this boy, he is our slave, and he is a runaway slave. He just ran away. But if you want to buy him, we're ready to give it to you. We'll give this to you, right? So the brothers are saying, because then again, understanding that their first, had their goal been to kill Yusuf alayhi salam, they would have said, you know what, give Yusuf alayhi salam to us, and then they would have taken care of it. Now, right? But this was not the goal. This was not their objective. Their objective was only to get rid of Yusuf alayhi salam, remove him from the picture. Make sure he's no longer there. So وَشَرَوْهُ بِثَمَنٍ بَخْسٍ دَرَاهِمَ مَعْدُودَةٍ. They purchased him, right? The caravan purchased Yusuf alayhi salam for a small price. What was that price? It comes in Tafseer, 20 dirhams. 20 dirham, right? That's it. 20 dirahim. That's it. وَكَانُوا فِيهِ مِنَ الزَّاهِدِينَ. Now what happened, now here things started to change, right? Starting from ayah number 21 now, right? Now Yusuf alayhi salam, he's no longer in his homeland, right? Now he is in Misr. وَقَالَ الَّذِي اشْتَرَاهُ مِن مِصْرٍ, right? قَالَ الَّذِي اشْتَرَاهُ مِن مِصْرٍ. Now when this caravan, this person who had purchased Yusuf alayhi salam, he goes into Misr. And he just, these people, they just want to, now they're saying, I have this boy, I have no need for this boy, who wants him, The king of Misr, he spots, now he was actually the governor, okay? So the governor of Egypt, he spots him. Yusuf alayhi salam, Allahu Akbar, 1/3, just imagine, 1/3 of the beauty of this world, of this earth, was given to Yusuf alayhi salam. So he says, you know what, I will buy him. And what was the price that he paid for Yusuf alayhi salam? Allahu Akbar. Musk, just listen to this. We understand musk is very expensive. I remember going to Mecca 3 or 4 years back when I went for Umrah. Sorry, even more than that, probably like 5, 6 years back maybe. Right, I went for Umrah, and I wanted to purchase some oud and some musk, some cologne, some itar. Right, so I go to the store and there's a small bottle of musk, small bottle. So I asked the owner, what is this? The store owner, how much is this for? Right, and he tells me it's a very small bottle, right? Very small. I'm not talking about 60 ml. I'm not talking about 100 ml. It's very small, maybe 10 or 20 or something. So he tells me this is worth nearly 130 or something, right? And it wasn't, this musk wasn't in the purest of forms. right? As understanding, musk is derived from, it comes from a deer's pouch, right? We'll get to that story some other day, how musk came into existence. But the bottom line, the gist is it's worth a lot, right? That musk wasn't in the purest of forms. They add other things as well. So he said that it's a small bottle. It's worth 100. It's worth 120 riyals or something, which is roughly at that time it was, I don't know, $40, $50 or something. Allahu Akbar, right? This person, just imagine at that point, at that time, right? He purchased him, and what is the price that he paid? Musk equivalent to the weight of Yusuf alayhi salam. Allahu Akbar. Right? At this point, Yusuf alayhi salam was roughly, 8 to 10 years old. Someone who's 8 to 10 years old weighs nearly, you can say, depending on the child, 20, 30 pounds. Allahu Alam, right? Just a rough guess, 20, 30 pounds. Just imagine musk at that time, right? Musk equivalent to the weight of Yusuf alayhi salam. So you're saying 30, like Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah. That's, if it's measured in not pounds, then you're talking about, if it's measured in liquid, then you're talking about maybe, like, I don't know how many gallons of musk, right? Allahu Akbar. Or how many pounds, depending on how it's weighed, right? After purchasing Yusuf alayhi salam, he brings him inside to his house, and he says to his wife, "Akrimi mathwa." Akrimi. So this we have to understand as well, that when a guest comes over to your house, when someone comes to your house, this is something that we need to do. We need to do their ikram, right? Ikram al-dhayf, ikram al-dhuyuf, right? Taking care of our guest. ولما بلغ أشده آتيناه حكما وعلما وكذلك نجزي المحسنين. Yusuf alayhi salam, when he reached the age of 33, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, roughly 83, as Mufassirin say, وَلَمَّا بَلَغَ أَشُدَّهُ آتَيْنَاهُ حُكْمًا وَعِلْمًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives wisdom and knowledge to who? Yusuf alayhi. وراودته التي هو في بيتها عن نفسه وغلقت الأبواب. Okay? I won't go into many details of this. Or, Allahu Alam, 70 pounds, depending on the child. Like I said, depending on the child. You have some people who are, subhanAllah, who are 20 years old and they only weigh 120 pounds, right? And then you have some kids who are 10 years old and they weigh like 150 pounds. Allahu Akbar, depending on the child. Nevertheless, the point here is musk equivalent to his weight, meaning that he paid a huge price for him, right? Now, understanding that obviously she wanted to commit an act, the wife, Zulaykha, of the governor, she wanted to commit an act with Yusuf alayhi salam, right? So, just skipping this part a little, right? She wanted to commit this act, she locked all the doors, but Yusuf alayhi salam, he remembered Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he feared Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and all the doors were open, right? Now, what happened was that Yusuf alayhi salam comes and Zulaykha is running behind Yusuf alayhi salam. Okay? They come right before the government. Now before the governor. Okay? Now the wife, she says of the governor, قالت ما جزاء من أراد بأهلك السوء إلا أن يسجن أو عذاب أليم. Right? Meaning that what is, I'm your wife. I'm noble, right? Meaning that I have this, like, I'm on a high, I have this high status. Now, if someone does anything to me, or someone tries to do something, see, now she's changing the table. She's saying, no, wait, what if someone tries to do something to me, right? What should be his punishment? I've heard that, his punishment should be that he should be incarcerated, right? He should be he should be apprehended, he should be imprisoned, right? Or عذاب أليم, or he shall be given a punishment. Meaning she was trying to save herself and saying, Yusuf alayhi salam, whatever you see, whatever picture you see, whatever, is presented before you, Yusuf alayhi salam is at fault, That's what she's saying. قال هي راودتني عن نفسي وشهد شاهد من أهلها. Okay? Now there's a dilemma. There's some dispute, right? Yusuf alayhi salam is saying, no, he is at fault. Right? Obviously, Yusuf alayhi salam is right. Alayhi salam says, no, she's at fault. She tried to commit this act. Now the woman, Zulaykha, says, no, he is at fault. Because everyone wants to save themselves, right? Zulaykha, obviously, at this point, she is lying. Yusuf alayhi salam is telling the truth. So a small boy, right? This is one of the miracles as well. A small boy who's in his cradle, right? He says, in kana, let's fix this. There is a solution. إن كان قميصه قد من قبل فصدقت وهو من الكاذبين وإن كان قميصه قد من دبر فكذبت وهو من الصادقين. So the boy says that if the shirt is torn from the front, then that means that Yusuf alayhi salam is lying. And if the shirt is torn from the back, that means Yusuf alayhi salam is telling the truth and the woman is lying. After looking at the shirt, when they looked at the shirt, they noticed that it was torn from the back, so they understood that Yusuf alayhi salam was telling the truth. Right? Yusuf. Now here's what we have to understand. Allahu Akbar. Another beautiful. See, Surah Yusuf. SubhanAllah, has so many lessons for us. Allahu Akbar. Just Surah Yusuf. Allahu Akbar. Truly amazing. Yusufu a'rith an hadha. What does that really mean? Allahu Akbar. This is a way and a means of avoiding fitna. Right? For example, our parents at times, they tell us, the teachers tell us, let's say something happens. What do they tell you? You know what? Okay, that's it. Just cut the topic. No more. So understanding, if we talk more, the situation can escalate. Right? So Yusuf out of that. Okay, Yusuf, just abstain from this. You don't need to mention this to anyone. Just stay quiet. And as for the other person, وَاسْتَغْفِرِي لِذَنْبِكَ إِنَّكِ كُنْتِ مِنَ الْخَاطِئِينَ. Just do tawbah. Ask repentance, right? So subhanAllah, this is Allahu Akbar, this is a lesson for us, right? When we make mistakes, right, we don't have to, this is a bad, this is a disease, some people have that, they start making i'lans, they start making all these announcements, this person, he did this, and then the thing escalates, right? For example, and we can see this, Allahu Akbar, a dispute between a husband and a wife, right? The husband should say, you know what, it's fine, let's take care of this ourselves. You just stay quiet, you don't need to tell anyone, I don't need to tell anyone, let's handle it ourselves. Now what happens is those Allahu Akbar, the woman, the girl, she is very emotional, the husband at times is very emotional, the woman tells her mother this had happened, the husband tells his mother that this had happened, and then now there's this huge quarrel, this huge fuss and this kerfuffle, and people are just fighting one another, right? Understanding Yusuf out of that, and then to the girl, وَاسْتَغْفِرِي لِذَنْبِكَ إِنَّكِ كُنْتِ مِنَ الْخَاطِئِينَ. Just leave it. Just let go of this, right? You don't need to keep bringing this up. It's fine. Leave that matter to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just do tawbah, sincere tawbah, and leave it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is a valuable lesson, my dear respected brothers and sisters. We have to understand from this, right? Don't just don't just escalate things, right? Never fight fire with fire. Fight fire with water. You should have that quality that, alhamdulillah, I'm the one to pour water on the fire. I'm the one to extinguish that fire. I'm not the one to rather, add fuel to the fire, right? Just enjoy this. Now, فَلَمَّا سَمِعَتْ, moving on to ayah number 31, okay? فَلَمَّا سَمِعَتْ بِمَكْرِهِنَّ أَرْسَلَتْ إِلَيْهِنَّ وَأَعْتَدَتْ لَهُنَّ مُتَّكَأً وَآتَتْ كُلَّ وَاحِدَةٍ مِّنْهُنَّ سِكِّينًا. Okay? Now this, Allahu Akbar, certain things you can't hide, right? They become the talk of the town. Now this became talk of the town. That, the woman, Sulaykha, this is what she intended, to do with her slave, with her, someone who's with her servant, right? And they started accusing, criticizing, and blaming Zulaykha. They said, how could you do this? This is something, that, what's wrong with you? Zulaykha, she was just indulged, and she had fallen in love with Yusuf alayhi salam. So she said, you know what, they don't understand yet. So let me do this, right? فَلَمَّا سَمِعَتْ بِمَكْرِهِنَّ أَرْسَلَتْ إِلَيْهِنَّ. So what she did, she called them for a da'wah. She said, just come over for a da'wah. وأعتقد لهن متكئا وآتت كل واحدة منهن سكينة. Now what happened was, she, it comes in the tafsir that she, the people who were there, the women folk who were there, Zulaykha said, you know what, this is a da'wah that I'm calling you to da'wah, so, let's just, here you go, here are some apples, I'm just preparing, I'm doing something, I'll be right back. Here are some apples, and just start cutting some apples, right? This was a test for them, right? The women folk, they started cutting their apples. Now Yusuf alayhi salam, he is completely oblivious. He is completely unaware at this point. That he's not aware of the situation, the circumstance, right? The women folk are cutting the apples. Yusuf alayhi salam, no, he doesn't know that women folk are there, right? Because this is all, the makr, the plan, the plot of Zulaykha. وَقَالَتْ تِخْرُجْ عَلَيْهِنَّ. Now, then she tells Yusuf alayhi salam, Yusuf, just come here. Yusuf, just come forth. فَلَمَّا رَأَيْنَهُ أكبرنه وقطعن أيديهن وقلن حاشا لله ما هذا بشرا إن هذا إلا ملك كريم. This was what she wanted to prove. This is something what she wanted to prove. Allahu Akbar. Now, just imagine 1/3 of the beauty walks in, right? You're just, you can't hold yourself, right? So the women folk, the same women folk who were cutting their apples, they started cutting their fingers. Allahu Akbar, right? Just completely, they're out of hosh. They're out of, they had completely gone insane. They, lost their sanity, right? Completely gone insane. وَقُلْنَا حَاشَا لِلَّهِ مَا هَذَا بَشَرٌ. Allahu Akbar. And someone, meaning that, is this true? Like, you're actually a human being? Like, we've never seen anyone that beautiful. You're actually a human being. Allahu Akbar. إِنْ هَذَا إِلَّا مَلَكٌ كَرِيمٌ. Angel. You look at someone, you say, SubhanAllah, this person, he's, mashallah, you're so beautiful, are you an angel, mashallah, when it comes to our qualities, someone's qualities, or when it comes to someone's appearance, you say, mashallah, or, when someone wears an imama, goes outside, he has a white jubba, a white thow, or a white kurta, he goes outside, you say, wow, subhanallah, you look like a prince, or you look like an angel, mashallah, right? قالت فذلك كنا الذي الله أكبر. Now look at this. In ayah number 32, she says, Allahu Akbar, now tell me, was I at fault? I only did this, look, I love my love. See, look, now you know my love for Yusuf, right? You blamed me that I tried to commit this act with Yusuf. Now you tell me. Now look at Yusuf. Isn't he beautiful? Isn't he handsome? Now, Allahu Akbar, look at this other fitna. I will go to the poem, inshallah, at the very end. Okay, inshallah. Hopefully, if we have time at the very end, right? I don't want to exceed. Just sticking to Surah Yusuf right now, okay? So sticking to this, okay? Now what happens is, another fitna. The same women folk who were criticizing Zulaykha for trying to, commit this act, for her effort to commit this act, they were criticizing her effort and saying that, how could you do this with Yusuf? He's a servant of yours, he lives in your house, how could you do this? A new fitna started. The same woman folk, now they go to Yusuf and they tell Yusuf that, it's okay, fine, just commit this act, Allahu Akbar. So at this point, Yusuf alayhi salam says, قَالَ رَبِّ السِّجْنُ أَحَبُّ إِلَيَّ مِمَّا يَدْعُونَنِي إِلَيْهِ. Now, Ya Allah, to save myself from this fitna, Ya Allah, I want to go away. Ya Allah, in prison, right? Ya Allah, put me in prison, right? In a prison. Another, Allahu Akbar, another, gem from this ayah that we can take is that قَالَ رَبِّ السِّجْنُ أَحَبُّ إِلَيَّ. That when we are faced with difficulty, with certain challenges in life, it's always best to walk away. Right? The more you talk about it, see, it's like this. The more you talk about it, or the more you think about it, the more you are inclined to perform that action, or anything in life, right? So it's best to just completely move away, right? Just move away. You don't want to be affected. Just this is one lesson that we need to take. فاستجاب له ربه فصرف عنه كيدهن إنه هو السميع العليم. Obviously, this is something Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala heard this, right? And He accepted his prayer. Now Yusuf alayhi salam is in prison. ودخل معه السجن فتيان. Okay? Two people are there now, right? قال أحدهما إني أراني أعصر خمرا وقال الآخر إني أراني أحمل فوق رأسي خبزا تأكل الطير منه نبئنا بتأويله إنا نراك من المحسنين. Are these two people amongst them? One of them he was a cook, right? So they tried to poison, one of them tried to poison the king, right? And the king died, right? Or sorry, the king didn't die, right? The king didn't die. They tried to poison him. They found out. So obviously the punishment was that, they have to be incarcerated. They have to be imprisoned. They have to go to the prison. So one of them said that I had this dream that I am presenting this wine, right? I'm squeezing this. I'm taking out wine. And the other one said, I see above me, أحمل فوق رأسي خبزا تأكل الطير منه. There is bread hovering above me and birds are eating from this, right? So tell us about this interpretation, right? What is this? So he said, as for the person who is, squeezing wine, who squeezes wine, you will be set free. You will go back. You will have your job. And as for the second person, you are going to be killed, right? You will be killed. Now, Allahu Akbar, coming to this, now this is what's happening in prison. Coming to ayah number 39. يا صاحبي السجن أأرباب متفرقون خير أم الله الواحد القهار. What do we get from this ayah, Allahu Akbar? The importance of giving da'wah. يا صاحبي السجن أأرباب متفرقون خير أم الله الواحد القهار. Is it better to, the belief in multiple gods, right? Arbab, multiple lords. Is that better, or is the belief in one Allah greater? Right? See, that was his form, that was his way of giving da'wah, right? What's better? What do you think? Allah has an understanding. Today people are saying this is a nasiha for us that Yusuf alayhi salam being the Prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, prison is something that no one likes, right? But even in prison, Allahu Akbar, even in prison, he did not leave this, right? He didn't leave this da'wah of calling people towards the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, calling them towards the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? Today we say that, I can't go to this place and I can't tell my children to do this. I can't give, at times we feel shy. The same goes for us. For example, the menfolk, they say, it's hard for me to go to my office, my workplace, and I'm so busy. It's hard for me to tell someone about deen. Allahu Akbar. Why is it hard? The women folk, when we go to when we're invited to someone's house, when we go there for a da'wah, it's hard for me to give da'wah to them. Because why? Because the place, it's not suitable. No, every place is suitable, right? Allah, look at this. Yusuf alayhi salam is in prison at this point. Ya sahibi as-sijn a'arbabun mutafarriquna khayrun am Allahu al-wahid al-qahhar. This is da'wah. This is a form of da'wah, right? Just asking, right? And it's, understanding this is a rhetorical question, right? Rhetorical question meaning that you don't need any answer, right? It's already, the answer is already given in the question, right? And the answer is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala obviously he's better, he's greater. ما تعبدون من دونه إلا أسماء سميتموها أنتم وآباؤكم ما أنزل الله بها من سلطان إن الحكم إلا لله الله إلى آخره. Understanding that these are all the names, إلا أسماء سميتموها. This isn't, another thing that comes into our mind, Allahu Akbar. When we come up with different rituals, right? And we can picture ourselves in this, right? Those who come up with different rituals, and the same rituals that we have in our weddings and all that stuff, Allahu Akbar, where did they come from? They didn't come from Islam. They came from, other religions. They're the same, I don't want to delve into those rituals, Allahu Akbar. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us, from these rituals. That what are they? Right? سَمَّيْتُمُوهَا أَنْتُمْ وَآبَاؤُكُمْ. yeah, we've been hearing, you do this when the husband and the wife gets married, when two people get married, do this will happen, you do this. Understanding where did they come from, right? ما أنزل الله بها. Right? Just going into the tafsir of this ayah. Everything. Allah Subhanahu wa Taala didn't send this. This. All these rituals aren't the teachings. Now, someone says, I'm not fine. I'm not worshiping idols. Fine, Alhamdulillah. That's nice. Allah Subhanahu wa Taala protects you. I mean, but what about all these rituals that we indulge and engage in? Right? Not until Allah Subhanahu. This isn't from Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. It isn't. It's not thabit from Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But we just delve and indulge ourselves and engage ourselves in all these things, right? So as for the person, who will go back, return to his king, Yusuf alayhi salam said to him that when you go back to him, وَذْكُرْنِي عِنْدَ رَبِّكَ, right? That when you go back to your king, just mention my name. Tell him that there's one person, he's inside the prison and he didn't commit this act and he was forced to go to prison, right? So just tell him about me. فأنساه الشيطان ذكر ربه فلبث في السجن بضع سنين. Okay? So that person, he forgot about Yusuf alayhi salam to mention his name, and Yusuf alayhi salam stayed in the prison. بضع سنين, roughly 3 to 9 years, right? Allahu A'lam. Now the king, he had a dream. Okay, understanding. What was his dream? The dream that he had, and his name was Rayyan bin Walid. Okay, that's the king at that time, right? The king of Misr. See, the first was he was the governor. This is actually the king of Misr now, king of Egypt. So he says that I see this dream and I need someone to interpret and tell me what's happening. Right? He says I see 7 lean cows and 7 meaty cows and fat cows. So tell me what's going on. Right? Advise me. See in this ayah number 43, يا أيها الملأ أفتوني في رؤياي إن كنتم للرؤيا تعبرون. If you have this knowledge of interpretation, I need you to advise me. Tell me about this dream that I had. What is this dream? قالوا أضغاث أحلام. False dreams. Don't worry too much about it. وما نحن بتأويل الأحلام بعالمين. And we have no knowledge of this interpretation. We have no knowledge of interpretation. وقال الذي نجا منهما. Now that person, see who's in the prison, he says, Allahu Akbar. I know someone who knows this knowledge of interpretation of narratives and interpretation of dreams. Yusuf alayhi salam knows this, right? He says Yusuf alayhi salam knows this. So he said, Yusuf knows it's fine, bring him, right? Now Yusuf alayhi salam comes. And he asked Yusuf alayhi salam, okay, what is this, right? Advise me. So Yusuf alayhi salam says, you will plant for 7 consecutive years, okay? You will plant for 7 consecutive years. Whatever you harvest, leave it in its spikes, except a little from which you will eat. Okay? So meaning that you will harvest for 7 years. So the gist of this is that 7 years of prosperity and 7 years of drought. Right? 7 years of famine. 7 years of prosperity. So meaning in the 7 years you will cherish, you will prosper, and 7 years in the next 7 years you will be hit with famine and destitution, right? Poverty. So Allahu Akbar, this was what he had said, right? Now Yusuf alayhi salam said, okay, but I need something in return. Okay? That I need something in return. ما بال النسوة اللاتي قطعن أيديهن. إن ربي بكيدهن عليم. Now this had become the talk of the town that Yusuf alayhi salam was at fault, right? And because of this, Yusuf alayhi salam went to prison. So now he tells the king of Egypt, he says, what about the women folk? Right? What about the women folk who had cut their fingers, and what about Zulaykha? What about their matter? Right? Now the women folk they're presented before the king. Now they say, قُلْنَا حَاشَ لِلَّهِ مَا عَلِمْنَا عَلَيْهِ مِنْ سُوءٍ. الله. قالت امرأة العزيز الآن حصحص الحق أنا راودته عن نفسه وإنه لمن الصادقين. Now she says, you know what? Now there's no more hiding. Now it's apparent. Hey, conspicuous. Everyone can see this. I was the one who was at fault. Yusuf alayhi salam was not at fault. Okay? Now, Allahu Akbar, my dear respected brothers and sisters. Moving to this ayah. Okay? Moving to this ayah. Allahu Akbar. وَمَا أُبَرِّئُ نَفْسِي إِنَّ النَّفْسَ لَأَمَّارَةٌ بِالسُّوءِ إِلَّا مَا رَحِمَ رَبِّي إِنَّ رَبِّي غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. Allahu Akbar. Look at the akhlaq of Yusuf alayhi salam. Right? What does he say? وَمَا أُبَرِّئُ نَفْسِي. I don't say, and I'm just going to elaborate a little bit on this. I don't say that I'm pure, I'm perfectly fine. وَمَا أُبَرِّئُ نَفْسِي إِنَّ النَّفْسَ لَأَمَّارَةٌ بِالسُّوءِ إِلَّا مَا رَحِمَ رَبِّي. It's okay, it's okay. Everyone makes mistakes. A couple of ayahs, my dear respected brothers and sisters, Allahu Akbar. If we understand this, Allahu Akbar, we know our lives would be better. Subhanallah. وَمَا أُبَرِّئُ نَفْسِي. I don't say that a prophet is saying that. وَمَا أُبَرِّئُ نَفْسِي. I don't say I'm pure, I'm perfectly fine. إِنَّ النَّفْسَ لَأَمَّارَةٌ بِالسُّوءِ. It's okay. The meaning of which is we all make mistakes. Your nafs, it's because of your nafs. It's because of your nafs. Your nafs forced you into this, right? You were compelled. Allahu Akbar. Right? So understanding that it's okay. The gist and the crux of this is everyone makes mistakes. Right? If someone makes a mistake today, say, it's Allahu Akbar. Someone who's been working for you for about 20 years, it could be your servant or whoever, 20, 30 years, Allahu Akbar. Right? Allahu Akbar. Someone who works for you. Now, the moment he makes a mistake, you criticize him. At times you slap that person, you hit that person, and you say, you know what? This was my biggest mistake. I should have hired someone else. I should have hired someone else. That person, in 20 to 30 years of his life, he's only made roughly 5 mistakes. You, on the other hand, living for about 20, 30 years as well, you've made several of mistakes. You've made thousands of mistakes. What about your mistakes? So see, then again, understanding, my dear respected brothers and sisters, when we make mistakes, it's okay, it's fine. We're able to put a veil over it. When others make mistakes, right, this is something we can't tolerate. We look for perfection in others. Allahu Akbar. We seek perfection. We say, this person, when he talks, he should talk on time. He should end his khutbah on time. This person, when I called you for a meeting, why didn't you show up on time? We look for perfection, right? So, Allahu Akbar, this is a question that I ask. Oh, insan, are you perfect? If you are perfect, this is what we have to ask ourselves. If we say we're perfect, then we can look for fine. Then it's okay. You've got the green light. Then you can look for perfection in others. When you yourself, when you're full of flaws, when we are full of flaws, when we're not perfect ourselves, why do we look for perfection in others? Okay? If we can only understand this, that I'm full of flaws. Allahu Akbar. This one time, this one person, he went to a sheikh and he said, I need you to advise me. So the sheikh said, okay, you have a qalam. Yes, here you have a qalam. He said, he gave him he said, there was this wall. Right. He said, I need you to draw something. I need you to draw a small dot. That person, he draws a dot, right? Or sorry, the sheikh, The sheikh, he takes a qalam and he makes a small dot, right? He takes this sheet of paper and he makes a small dot. He looks at the person and he says, what do you see? Now he says, I see the small dot. So there you go. This is your biggest advice. No, I've already advised you. This is your advice. So the person says, what are you talking about? What is this? I see the black dot. How is this advice? How is this good advice? He said, there you go. He said, you have overlooked all this white and you see this black dot. But so you don't tell me that you see this you see this white blank space. All you see is this black dot. He said, this is the case with us human beings, right? You have a person. Someone may have 99 good qualities, one bad quality. You overlook those 99 good qualities, but you talk about that one bad quality. That this is our situation. This is our case. Right? So understanding that now, subhanAllah, getting back to this, right? That you say, I should have hired someone else. Should have hired someone else. Allahu Akbar. Anas bin Malik radiallahu anhu says, I was in the service of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam for many years, for nearly 9 years, 10 years, for many, many years. He said, let alone hit me. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam never criticized me. This is the akhlaq of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? Allahu Akbar. So in وَمَا أُبَرِّئُ نَفْسِي, right? Even myself, when I talk about myself, I'm not pure. إِنَّ النَّفْسَ لَأَمَّارَةٌ بِالسُّوءِ. We make mistakes. We all make mistakes. إِلَّا مَا رَحِمَ رَبِّي إِنَّ رَبِّي غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. Now, moving to ayah number 55. This is amazing as well, right? قَالَ اجْعَلْنِي عَلَى خَزَائِنِ الْأَرْضِ إِنِّي حَفِيظٌ عَلِيمٌ. Right? Yusuf alayhi salam, now the king says, okay, well, what are you good at? Right? Now I wish to give you something. What are you good at? I wish to give you something. What do you want from me? Yusuf alayhi salam says, اجعلني على خزائن الأرض. Right? I am inni hafidhun alim. But now understanding this, when you go for employment, right? When you go for a job, if you to talk good about your qualities, about your features, this is not called pride. Right? For example, you are someone who is organized, right? This is what we learn from employment, right? This is Allah. We look at this employment, right? Make me a treasurer. Why? What's the reason? You need to back it up. You need to substantiate your statement. Inni hafidhun alim. Why? Because I'm hafidh. I can safeguard things. I'm a guardian. Alim. I'm aware that I know my job. I know what to do. I know what to do with this, right? I'll do my job properly. So when we go, it's okay for us to mention for example, someone is good at math. You go for employment, you go for a job, you tell them, I'm good at math. I'm good at this. This is my quality. This is my specialty, right? Allahu Akbar. Now, understanding there was a famine, right? So the news reached the brothers and Yaqub alayhi salam all the way in Palestine that there is this one king. Now they don't know Yusuf alayhi salam. Yaqub alayhi salam knows, okay? Just understand this. Yaqub alayhi salam knows. The brothers don't know. Now the news reaches them that there is this one treasurer, Allahu Akbar. Now there's one governor, this treasurer, that he's very generous and he gives a lot of, if we go to him, he'll give food, he'll give us food, right? Because of this, there's this famine now, there's poverty in the air. So let's go to him. وَجَاءَ إِخْوَةُ يُوسُف فَدَخَلُوا عَلَيْهِ فَعَرَهُمْ وَهُمْ لَهُ مُنْكِرُونَ. Now the brothers come in. Allahu Akbar. Yusuf alayhi salam, he knows everything. He knows how the brothers treated him. He knows everything. وَهُمْ لَهُ مُنْكِرُونَ. The brothers are unaware. They don't know. Okay? Yusuf alayhi salam knows that, these are the same brothers, who threw me into the well. Allahu Akbar. So now Yusuf alayhi salam, he gives them some food. He tells them, take this back. The brothers say, we have a father and we have our brother, Binyamin. Binyamin stayed back, right? Because Yaqub alayhi salam, he didn't trust the brothers. Yusuf alayhi salam says, what? You know me. He gave more. Whatever, for example, they were given a certain amount, right? Everyone was given a certain amount. So Yusuf alayhi salam actually gave them more than what they were, expected, what they had, what they were supposed to get. So Yusuf alayhi salam, so they say, we have a brother. Can you give more for him as well? Yusuf alayhi salam says, you know me, I am trustworthy and I stick to my words, right? Why don't you bring your brother with you? Bring your brother with you, and then I'll give your brother. Whoever wants, they have to come. I can't give you because, obviously understanding this is now another rule that we have to understand. Sometimes people say that, have this one family who's there. Can I please get this biryani box? Can I please? Now this is, I'm just giving a certain, just for example, let's say you go to a masjid or something, right? And that masjid is selling biryani. They sell biryani on Friday, and the rule is one per head, one per person. Now you say, you know what? Can you give me some more? But this is not for myself. This is for my brother who's at home. What does the person tell you? He says, no. I will give it to your brother, but it's one per head. When your brother is here, I will give it to him, right? So Yusuf alayhi salam says, okay, I will give it to you. No, that's not a problem. But bring your brother, and then I will give it to him. So the brothers, they go back to they go back to Yaqub alayhi salam. Right. فلما رجعوا إلى أبيهم قالوا يا أبانا منع منا الكيل فأرسل معنا أخانا نكتل وإنا له لحافظون. See the same statement. وإنا له لحافظون. This is what they said for Yusuf alayhi salam. Now the brothers say when they return, when they go back to Yaqub alayhi salam, they say يا أبانا منع منا الكيل. We were, weren't given extra. Right. We had asked for you, we had asked for Binyamin, but it wasn't given to us. Right. فأرسل معنا أخانا نكتل وإنا له لحافظون. We need Binyamin. So Binyamin can have his share. Allahu Akbar. قال, look at this rhetorical question. هل آمنكم عليه إلا كما أمنتكم على أخيه من قبل? Do you really want me to trust you the way I trusted you with Yusuf alayhi salam? فالله خير حافظا وهو أرحم الراحمين. So Yaqub alayhi salam, he's saying no. Right? You want me to trust you? I trusted you with Yusuf alayhi salam. Right? My beloved. I trusted you with Yusuf. What happened to Yusuf? Yusuf is nowhere to be seen. He's gone. As to your saying that a wolf came and devoured him, where's Yusuf? Where's my Yusuf? Right. So Binyamin is left now. Small boy. Do you want me to send Binyamin to? Right. Meaning he's younger than the other brothers. Right. ولما فتحوا متاعهم وجدوا بضاعتهم ردت إليهم قالوا يا أبانا ما نبغي هذه بضاعتنا ردت إلينا. Okay. See, then again, they were given more. See, they were given. Now when they open their bags and they're saying, Allah Akbar, now we have so much. Now we have so much, right? Now the brothers told Yaqub alayhi salam, you know what? This king, he is so nice. Why don't you send Binyamin with us? قال لن أرسله معكم. Yaqub alayhi salam is saying this. I will never send Binyamin with you. حتى تؤتوني موثقا من الله لتأتونني به إلا أن يحاط بكم. فلما آتوه موثقهم قال الله على ما نقول وكيل. So then Yaqub alayhi salam says, wa alaikum salam to those who have just joined. Yaqub alayhi salam says, you know what? That I will not send Binyamin until and unless you bring this covenant, make a covenant. Unless you make this firm promise, unless you promise me that you will bring him back in one piece, that you will take care of him, you will protect him, right? Not the same thing that what you did to Yusuf, that you will actually protect Binyamin, and then I will send Binyamin with you. Okay? Okay. And this is another advice. فقال يا بني لا تدخلوا من باب واحد وادخلوا من أبواب متفرقة. Okay? When you go to the king, don't enter through one door. Right? Now coming back to evil eye. Allahu Akbar. Those, Allahu Akbar, some of us, those who have 5 daughters, 4 daughters, or only daughters, right? Or those, some of us have, only have sons, right? 5 sons, 6 sons, or 3 sons, 4 sons, right? Now when it comes to Eid, right, mashallah, everyone's traveling together. People understanding, when people look at this, when this is placed before the eyes of people, the first thing that comes up, oh wow, look at the brothers. How people say it, the Daisies and everyone else as well. Oh, look at this, 5 people, wow. Mashallah doesn't come out, wow comes out. That's the first word that comes out, right? And as a result, and when it comes to evil eye, right? Whether you have something against that person or not, right? You just say, wow, and you just look at that person without making a dua for him, he's affected, right? As it comes in one hadith, the person gets affected by this, right? Allahu Akbar, to save our children, to save Allah to save our children from the evil eyes of people, right? From the evil eye of people. We need to tell them, we need to advise them that, 2 of you, and this was his advice. Allahu Akbar, many, 11 brothers at this point, right? And you go from here, you go from there, separate doors. People just don't look at you and say, mashallah, 11 going in one group, mashallah, 11, there's an army going, right? So to save ourselves from evil eye, right? من أبواب متفرقة. Now, Yusuf alayhi salam, when the brothers went to Yusuf alayhi salam, he said, now see, understand there are 11 brothers, right? So he said, okay, now I need the two of you to pair up. Okay, I need a pair. So that means two. Me understanding that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that you have five, right? 5 times 2 is 10. And there are 5 rooms. Okay, he said, so two of you go in that room, 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 and two of you go in that room, right? 5. 5 times 2, 10. Obviously, that means 1 still remains, right? Because 11 is odd. He was Binyamin. So the brothers, they went into their rooms. Yusuf alayhi salam goes to Binyamin and he tells him that, look, I'm about to do something. Everything is fine. Everything is going to be fine. ولما دخلوا على يوسف آوى إليه أخاه قال إني أنا أخوك فلا تبتئس بما كانوا يعملون. Yusuf alayhi salam takes Binyamin to the side and he tells him, look at me, Yusuf. I'm Yusuf, don't worry, everything is fine, everything is taken care of, right? Now, the next day they're about to go back. Okay, the next day they're about to go back. The mu'adhin, right? Mu'adhin here means not someone who gives adhan, but someone who, who just makes announcements, right? Who makes announcements. This person says, he says something is missing. There is this this bowl or this cup of the king of Yusuf alayhi salam, and it's missing, right? Suwa' al-Malik. وَلِمَنْ جَاءَ بِهِ حِمْلُ بَعِيرٍ وَأَنَا بِهِ زَعِيمٌ. When whoever brings this, he will be rewarded, right? قَالُوا تَاللَّهِ لَقَدْ عَلِمْتُمْ مَا جِئْنَا لِنُفْسِدَ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَمَا كُنَّا سَارِقِينَ. Now see, look, these are the brothers. The brothers are here. Yusuf alayhi salam is there. The mu'adhin says, something is wrong. Something's missing. The brothers, they look at one another. They look at Yusuf alayhi salam. They said, وَمَا كُنَّا سَارِقِينَ. Don't look at us. We're not robbers. We're not stealers. قالوا فما جزاؤه إن كنتم كاذبين. قالوا جزاؤه من وجد في رحله فهو جزاؤه كذلك نجزي الظالمين. Now, the punishment was that if this is whoever has this, right? Whoever has this cup of the king, if it's found in his bag with him, what is his punishment? The punishment is that we will take that cup in our possession, right? We'll confiscate that cup, we'll take it back, right? And the punishment of this person is that he gets to stay with us. Right? He gets to stay with us. This is his punishment, right? فبدأ بأوعيتهم قبل وعاء أخيه. الله أكبر. Now they start looking for إلى آخره until I'm not going to read the whole ayah. Now they start looking for that utensil, okay, that utensil of the king. Start looking for that cup, that utensil. Start looking here and there, can't really find it. Yusuf alayhi salam, this was his plan, right? Kidan ali Yusuf, right? Now this was the plan of Yusuf alayhi salam, that Yusuf alayhi salam, he said, I will hide, and this is what he said to Binyamin. He said, Binyamin, don't worry, okay, I'm with you. I'm going to hide this utensil in your bag. I will take care of the rest, okay? Now the bags, everyone's looking into their bags. This utensil is found in Binyamin's bag. Now what happened? Now look at, remember what the king said. He said now, and what Yusuf alayhi salam said. He said now, look, the person, if it's found, if I see this in your bag, you get to stay back, right? You can't go, you can't leave. This is your punishment, right? So I take the cup, I take the utensils, and you get to stay back. Now look at the brothers. Allahu Akbar. قالوا إن يسرق فقد سرق أخ له من قبل. Allahu Akbar. Right? If he's a robber, not a problem. You know why? His brother, he's a robber. He was a robber as well. A robber of a brother. Both of the brothers are robbers. Not a problem. فقد سرق أخ له من قبل. We are not surprised. You know why? Because understanding that Binyamin and Yusuf alayhi salam from one mother, and the brothers, the other 10 brothers, they were from from another mother. Okay, so 2 from one and 10 from one. Okay, Binyamin and Yusuf alayhi salam were brothers from one mother. So إن يسرق فقد سرق أخ له من قبل. Yusuf alayhi salam did, he never stole. Okay. فأسرها يوسف في نفسه ولم يبدي لها لهم قال أنتم شر مكانا. الله أكبر. Look at this beautiful statement. قال أنتم شر مكانا والله أعلم بما تصفون. you talk about my theft. Now he's saying this in his nafs, right? Not making it apparent. He's just saying this. You talk about my theft. You talk about the time I stole, and in reality, Yusuf alayhi salam didn't commit any crime. We'll get to that story right now, right? As to why the brother said, if Binyamin has taken something, if he has stolen something, we're not surprised because Yusuf alayhi salam, his brother, he's also a thief, right? Yusuf alayhi salam says, Antum sharrum makana. Wallahu a'lam bima tasifun. You talk about me. You talk about the time I was falsely accused of stealing something. What about the time when you stole me? Right? When you removed me from the picture, you're the ones, you've done something worse. You've taken me away from our father. What about this? Right? Now what happened with the story of Yusuf alayhi salam was Yusuf alayhi salam was very beautiful. Right? Very, very beautiful. So Yusuf alayhi salam, when he was young, he was living with his aunt. Right? As it comes in Tafseer, he was living with his aunt. Either his puppo, so you have the paternal, right? The paternal aunt of Yusuf alayhi salam. He was living with his paternal aunt. Yusuf alayhi salam is living with his paternal aunt. Now, what happened was, a time had come where Yusuf alayhi salam, now he has to go back to Yaqub alayhi salam and start living with him, right? The love that the maternal aunt of Yusuf alayhi salam had for him was, it was great. She loved him so much. She was very sad when she heard the news that Yusuf alayhi salam, now the time for departure has come. Yusuf alayhi salam, he's going to go away from me and he's going to live with Yaqub alayhi salam. So what she did, that she had, she took her khimar, her dupatta, her robe or her thobe, not her thobe, sorry, her scarf. She took her scarf and she tied it around the waist of Yusuf alayhi salam, and she put a cloth or a kurta over him, right? Now, this was the Sharia at that time, that if you had stolen something, right? If you had stolen something and it was found with you, right? So meaning, let's say you steal something and it was found it's found with you, right? And it's in your possession. The punishment was that you get to stay with that person, right? That person, he decides your punishment, you stay with him, right? Because the aunt of Yusuf alayhi salam, now obviously, this was her plan. She wanted Yusuf alayhi salam because of how beautiful he was and how amazing he was. She tied her dupatta, her scarf, around his waist. And now she started saying that, where's my scarf? Where's my scarf? Scarf is nowhere to be seen. It's nowhere to be found. Where's my scarf? People started looking for the scarf. When they checked Yusuf alayhi salam, they found that Yusuf alayhi salam had taken that scarf and it was around his waist. And who tied this? The aunt had tied this, right? So as a result, due to this fact, Yusuf alayhi salam, he ended up staying with his aunt for more years, right? So this is what she did. So قالوا إن يسرق فقد سرق أخ له من قبل. Binyamin has taken something. It's not a surprise. Not a surprise. Yusuf alayhi salam, he's done this before, right? قالوا يا أيها العزيز إن له أبا شيخا كبيرا فخذ أحدنا مكانه إنا نراك من المحسنين. Take one of us. Take one of us. We made this covenant. We had this promise with our father. We made this promise to him that we will return. Allahu Akbar. We will bring him back. Okay? We will bring him back. We are ready to offer ourselves. Right? Take us. Exchange. Right? In exchange. قال معاذ الله أن نأخذ إلا من وجدنا متاعنا عنده إنا إذا لظالمون. No, we can't do this. If this utensil was found in Binyamin's bag, right? Binyamin gets to stay back. No one else can stay back, right? Now, Allah, I know some of you are in the east and it might get a little late for you, so I'm just going to quickly wrap this up, inshallah. Now the brothers go back to, so Yusuf alayhi salam says, when you go back to your father, take this shirt, and go back to your father, right? Now the brothers of Yusuf alayhi salam, they go back to the father, and so Yusuf alayhi salam said, give this to my father and put it over his eyes, right? Now Yusuf alayhi salam, subhanAllah, look at the love that Yusuf alayhi salam had for Yaqub alayhi salam had for Yusuf alayhi salam. Now the brothers are coming, the shirt is coming, he can smell him. He said, look, I can smell him. I can smell Yusuf. I can smell him, right? Allahu Akbar. So what does the father say? Now, when they put this, now the eyesight of, see, I'm trying my best to, just finish everything, just conclude with everything. The eyesight returns back, right? The eyesight returns back. There is one ayah, إِنَّمَا أَشْكُو بَثِّي وَحُزْنِي إِلَى اللَّهِ. Inshallah, we'll discuss that tomorrow. The eyesight comes back. Now, Yaqub alayhi salam and the brothers, they go back to Yusuf alayhi salam. Okay? Allahu Akbar. Sorry, just once again, I'm just jumping over a few things, okay? Now, Yusuf, yeah, what's it called? Yeah, Yusuf alayhi salam tells the brothers that just go back. Binyamin is staying with me. The brothers, they go back. Okay? The brothers go back to Yaqub alayhi salam. And they say, we have been stopped. Binyamin has been stopped. Binyamin is not coming. Right? وتولى عنهم وقال يا أسفا على يوسف وبيضت عيناه من الحزن فهو كظيم. Now the brothers, they say Binyamin is lost. Binyamin is not coming. Okay, sorry, not lost. Binyamin is not coming. Now, Allahu Akbar, now that same thought of Yusuf alayhi salam, it comes back into action. Right? Yaqub alayhi salam, now he remembers Yusuf alayhi salam again. He said, Allahu Akbar. Now the same picture is running through his mind. He said, you said you'll take care of Yusuf. Yusuf is gone. You said you'll take care of Binyamin. Binyamin is gone. Now now that whole story, that whole situation is coming, right? Circumstance is coming. Now, Allahu Akbar. Now this is what Yaqub alayhi salam says. He says, I'm trying my best, inshallah, to wrap this up. قال إنما أشكو بثي وحزني إلى الله. I present my matters and whatever complaints I have, I say them and I present them to Allah. And this is, my dear respected brothers and sisters, just quickly saying this is what we need to do. We need to present our matters to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not people. SubhanAllah, today, it's, I've seen this before. You present your matters to people. You're crying. 30 minutes have gone by, 40 minutes have gone by. Little do you know, the next day the person doesn't even care about your situation. I'm not even joking, seriously. It's happened before. You tell someone about your situation. You tell them, I lost my child. I did this. This happened. That happened. I lost some money. This happened. The person listens to you. Said, oh, okay, I feel bad for you. The next day he doesn't even care. He doesn't even bother, right? So we try. See, then again, coming back to this, we try our best to please them. To please them, and we make sure that everyone is. These people are happy with us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ta'aruf ilallahi fi al-rakha ya'rifka fi shidda. You remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the time of prosperity. He remembers you at the time of destitution, at the time of hardship. He remembers you, right? So whatever complaints you have, إِنَّمَا أَشْكُو بَثِّي وَحُزْنِي إِلَى اللَّهِ. Right? إِنَّمَا أَشْكُو بَثِّي وَحُزْنِي إِلَى اللَّهِ. Just understand this ayah, Allahu Akbar. Now the brothers, they go back to Yusuf alayhi salam and they say, we need Binyamin. Our father needs Binyamin. Allahu Akbar. So now the brothers are there. Okay. Yusuf alayhi salam is there. Yusuf alayhi salam, he's aware of them. The brothers are not aware of them. Yusuf alayhi salam says, okay. أَلَا عَلِمْتُمْ مَا فَعَلْتُمْ بِيُوسُفْ وَأَخِيهِ إِذْ أَنْتُمْ جَاهِلُونَ. All of a sudden, for example, Allahu Akbar, you have two friends, right? You have two friends, and the two of you used to eat food together, used to play together, this and that. For example, there's just one food, right? Or you used to eat cookies together. For example, Oreo cookies together, right? 20 years have gone by, many years have gone by. You look at that person, you had a nickname for him, and you call him, and you're the only one who, I'm just giving an example, right? You call him by that name. Now that person looks at you, and now he doesn't know what to do. He's mixed emotions, right? He has mixed emotions. He's like, wait, it can't be. Are you that same friend? No. Are you him? Are you not? Allahu Akbar. This is the response. قالوا أئنك لأنت يوسف? Are you sure? No, you can't be Yusuf. You were in the well. And then a caravan came. And now so they're thinking that Yusuf alayhi salam, subhanallah, he's nowhere to be seen. And now all of a sudden, what happened to you? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has turned the tables or something. Now you're a king. All of a sudden, أئنك لأنت يوسف? Are you really Yusuf? Now the brothers, because the brothers are unaware. No, sorry, the brothers are aware. The brothers know what they had done to Yusuf alayhi salam. Allahu Akbar. قال أنا يوسف وهذا أخي. Yes, I am Yusuf and this is my brother. قد من الله علينا إنه من يتقي ويصبر فإن الله لا يضيع أجر المحسنين. Allahu Akbar. This is the gist of our entire life, honestly. Allahu Akbar. Just understand this ayah. Allahu Akbar. Just this one ayah is enough for all of our matters. Just this one ayah. SubhanAllah. إنه من يتقي ويصبر فإن الله لا يضيع أجر المحسنين. You fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this world. You stay away from haram. ويصبر. You are patient over the trials of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What's your reward? What's hope? Why should you do this? What is the objective behind this, right? Well, what's your goal? Well, what's your reward now? فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُضِيعُ أَجْرَ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. Allahu Akbar. I don't have, enough time to delve into this ayah. This ayah will take, Allahu Akbar, like 45 minutes or like 2 hours, but I don't want to delve into this ayah. Remember this ayah, preserve this ayah into your hearts. Allahu Akbar. إِنَّهُ مَنْ يَتَّقِي وَيَصْبِرْ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُضِيعُ أَجْرَ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. Okay. Now, Allahu Akbar. See, throughout the Quran, we'll go over la tathriba alaykum al-yawm. Okay, right now I really have to wrap this up. Wrap this up. Now the brothers, Yusuf alayhi salam says, here you go. Here's my shirt. Take this back to my father. اذهبوا بقميصي هذا فألقوه على وجه أبي يأتي بصيرا. Return this and take this, put it over the face of your father, over the eyes of your father, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will return his eyesight. وَأْتُونِي بِأَهْلِكُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ. When you do that, then all of you come back to me. Okay, do this. Oh, see now, because Yusuf alayhi salam, he had a dream. Now, see, now we're moving towards the fulfillment of this dream. Okay, all of you come back, right? Because this dream is incomplete. Now the brothers are here because now the dream is still incomplete. Because what did Yusuf alayhi salam say in the beginning? رَأَيْتُ أَحَدَ عَشَرَ كَوْكَبًا. Right, 11 stars, وَالشَّمْسِ and qamar. Right, sun and the moon being there. Right, so 11 plus 2, 13. Right now, only 11 are here. So the dream is, fulfillment of the dream has to happen, right? Now, Allah, look at the love, Yusuf alayhi salam, Yaqub alayhi salam for Yusuf alayhi salam. The shirt is coming. Inni la'ajidu riha Yusuf. I smell the fragrance of Yusuf. I can smell my son. Allahu Akbar. So now, فَارْتَدَّ بَصِيرًا. Just quickly going forward here. فَارْتَدَّ بَصِيرًا. After putting this shirt over his eyes, فَارْتَدَّ بَصِيرًا, he came. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala returned his eyesight. قَالَ أَلَمْ أَقُلْ لَكُمْ إِنِّي أَعْلَمُ مِنَ اللَّهِ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Allahu Akbar. This is a sign that Yaqub alayhi salam knew this all along. Right, so the brothers, no matter what they say, right, we will protect them, we will take care of them. Yaqub alayhi salam was aware of this, right? Because Yaqub alayhi salam is a prophet. He's aware of this. He knows what is going to happen. He knows that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to take away his son for many, many years. He knows he's going to be away from his beloved son, Yusuf alayhi salam. Then in time will come, he'll be away from Binyamin. He knows this, right? Inni a'lamu min Allahi ma la ta'lamun. I told you, right? I know this. I know from Allah ta'ala what you don't know. قالوا يا أبانا استغفر لنا ذنوبنا إنا كنا خاطئين. Ya Allah, forgive us. Oh, our Father, forgive us. Right? Now, Allahu Akbar, now they're moving towards the fulfillment of this dream. فَلَمَّا دَخَلُوا عَلَى يُوسُفَ آوَى إِلَيْهِ أَبَوَيْهِ وَقَالَ ادْخُلُوا مِصْرَ إِنْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ آمِنِينَ. See, this is also answering the question of Yahud, Bani Israel, they were in Palestine. Why are they in Misr? Because Yusuf alayhi salam is in Misr. Now the entire family is going to live in Misr, right? وقال يا أبت هذا تأويل رؤياي من قبل قد جعلها ربي حقا وقد أحسن بي إذ أخرجني من السجن وجاء بكم من البدو من بعد أن نزغ الشيطان بيني وبين إخوتي إن ربي لطيف لما يشاء إنه هو العليم الحكيم. Okay, now Allahu Akbar, now when everything happens, now the brothers so Yaqub alayhi salam along with the brothers and the qamar, right? Understand the qamar, it was either the mother of mother of Yusuf alayhi salam, or that same aunt. Okay, so Allah then again, Allahu a'lam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Okay. Now the dream is being fulfilled. Right now, just one thing we have to understand. Okay. The sajda that angels had done for Adam alayhi salam, it was ta'zeeman, it was not done for ibadah. Okay? We only worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the Sharia of Yaqub alayhi salam, to do sajda for, out of someone's greatness, okay? Not to worship him. It was allowed at that point. This was okay in the Sharia of Yaqub alayhi salam. Okay? You could do sajda, ta'zeeman. Now, understanding this has been nullified. Understanding for that time it was okay. And that sajda was not to worship Yusuf alayhi salam. It was to just show, greatness, In this Sharia of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, sajda out of ta'zeem, this has been nullified. Now the only sajda, see Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said this as well. If I were to tell someone, to order someone to do sajda to someone, I would tell a woman to do sajda to her husband, right? If I was allowed to say this, if this was allowed. But the only sajda we make is, and this Allahu Akbar also shows the respect that we need to have for our husbands. This also shows now that the only sajda we do, no matter who it is, it could be your, Allahu Akbar. Today it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. And this is the last thing I'm going to say. Today we do sajda to, we go to graves, people are doing sajda to them. We go to our, sometimes, people go to their feet back home and they do sajda to them, Allahu Akbar. You go to a grave, you do sajda to them, Allahu Akbar. What are you doing? If it's been said, if these people, if they were to come out of their graves, they would slap you. Seriously. These pious people, honestly, if they were to come out of their graves, they would slap all of us, right? All the people who are doing sujood to them, right? And they would say, Allahu Akbar, what are you doing? I didn't live my life like this, right? The only sajda we make is to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is it. You don't make sajda to anyone, please. So you don't bow down. You don't bow your head to anyone. You don't bow down to anyone, right? Oh. Just one last thing. This is Allahu Akbar. The difference between insan and, hopefully everyone can listen to this. The difference between, this is the last thing, and inshallah, I will see you tomorrow. We'll start with Al-Ra'id Ibrahim, and we'll move fast, right? We have to finish. We have to cover quite a bit in roughly, as I said, 15 days, right? Because we're finishing on the 28th, roughly around that, 14, 15 days. We have to finish 18 ajza. So inshallah, we have to move fast. Yes, Allahu Akbar. Look at the ikram Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to insan. Animals, for example, lions, have birds who eat worms, right? What do? They peck at the ground, right? They bow down to get their food, right? They bow down to get their food. You have a lion, right? No one is putting food in the mouth of a lion. The lion gets down, it consumes the food. Birds, they peck at the ground and then they eat, right? Allahu Akbar. This is the ikram that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to insan. Allah ta'ala says, oh people, okay? This is the ikram that He has given us. You don't bow down and eat your food. You don't bow down, you don't bow down and eat your food, right? I have given you these hands. You take, you pick up this food, you bring it close to your mouth, and then you consume this food. See, these people, the birds and these animals, their purpose, and see, this have been designed. They peck at the ground. Oh, insan, the only time you peck down, the only time you bow your head is Allahu Akbar. We only bow down to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not for our food, right? Alhamdulillah, Allah ta'ala has given us hands. This is the ikram Allah ta'ala has given us. Animals, they bow down, they peck, right? And then they consume their food. Oh, insan, I've given you these hands. You don't bow down to your food. Your food comes to you. You take your food, you pick up your food with your hands, and then you put it in your mouth. Your head, you only bow down to me. You only do sajda to me. So understanding, my dear respected brothers and sisters, that for Allahu Akbar, that we only do sajda to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We don't do sajda to anyone else. Okay? So, Jazakallahu khairan for your time. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you immensely. I will see you tomorrow. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
This session is no longer